Today, I'm gonna show you two unconventional LEGO minifigure habitats. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm here with two minifigures from the CMF Series 24. I already built most of the habitats for this series, except for these two, and for the T-Rex costume, that is the only one that I'm missing. So here we have the Rocking Horse Rider and the Carrot Mascot. These were the last left from the series because I found these two minifigures a little bit less inspiring than the others, but let's see what they came up with. So let's start with the Rocking Horse Rider. So I already built in the past a lot of, kids, bedrooms and living room and stuff. So today I was trying to do something different. So I'm trying to do an outdoor scene, even though I don't know how much it makes sense to have this ride outdoor, but I'm trying to do something kind of horse related. So yeah, I have a little bit of fencing going on the outside. So I'm using these old fence, white fence pieces to create a little bit of a enclosed area. And then I'm using these bow pieces to kind of follow a little bit the design of this fence. And here we have an area where we are going to have a sort of barn, a sort of stable at the back. I built before a stable minifigure habitat quite some time ago, so let's try to do something a little bit different here. So here we are going with a white and dark red design with a black roof. I'm using simple slopes over here on top, coming off one stud to give a little bit of dimension. And here we have a little bit of a sideways build with some slopes. We have a big door at the front and a little window on the top. Okay, so this is of course not in scale with a minifigure, even though this one probably will fit, but let's assume this in the background to be a little bit of a forced perspective. Thinking about it, after I build this, I would probably have to switch this the other way around, so fill up this gap and have the curve on top. I think it probably would make more sense, but anyway, this is what I put together. I rushed this build a little bit actually because I was about to travel and I was also a little bit under the weather, so this was not one of my best work, even though at the end I'm quite satisfied with the result. So the idea is to have this toy over here, this ride over here, and the minifigure out here. So she's outside of this bar, and outside we're gonna have a few horses, and I thought it would be a nice touch also to give her this other kind of accessory, this kind of horse toy. And then we need to add one little one that come from that minifigure for which I built the stable that I mentioned a little while ago. And here I have an open jumper because the idea here, by the way, this is exceeding the space of the habitat that should stop over here, but still having potentially the space to add other habitats on this side. I have another horse here, different color scheme, that is gonna be kind of poking here from behind the barn. I think is give a little bit of a good perspective. So over here, of course, I can connect another habitat if I want, and I can also place another habitat on top if I want to do the stack. But now this side is quite open. That means is that if I put this habitat into a stack, this would have to be the bottom right corner because I cannot stack anything on top here. So this is also an option if you are building a stack of habitat. The sides, the corners, doesn't have to be completed. You can have one side as support for the next part of the stack, and this side could be open. Potentially you can even extend further because there's not going to be any other connection. Anyway, this was a quick one. I found this minifigure quite challenging, but I think I have a good idea for the Carrot Mascot. So let's move this out of the way and let's bring the Carrot Mascot inside. This is a pretty cool minifigure with a farmer's market sign, and this is the direction we are going. So we are going to build a farmer's market. So here is the base that I have in light gray, and we are going to start by adding some items on sale. So here I have a chess piece on an inch brick. It's going to connect over here. We tilt it forward, and here we are going to sell some bananas. We're going to sell some fruits in this corner of the market. So let's just put some banana in there. Now I need to add a few other fruits on sale over here. So what we are gonna sell here, this one I guess would be grapes, and we have some apples, even though they don't really fit. These are actually the drawers that goes into the cabinet, so they have no connection point. So what I did here is I put them diagonally, and I'm trying to have the handle to just sit over there at the edge of the chest. This will allow me, thanks also to those tiles at the bottom, to keep it aligned, and also is a perfect spot to then just put another one on the side. So over here you can see now we have 3 items on sale or a nice angle display. So I think this worked quite well. Over on this side, I'm gonna add a little bit of detail underneath here, and we're gonna add a table. The table is not very well designed anyways, a few brackets, and we have some cakes on sale. This is gonna slide through here where we have the grapes. I just need to be careful not to make a big mess. And thanks to that slope over there, it will help me to keep it in position, okay, with a little bit of pressure. So not great connection over here, but it makes for a nice display. Now we are gonna add 2 vendors. We are gonna add 2 minifigures that I put together with the ones that I have available in my collection. So we have a lady over here working at the fruit stall, and we have another guy over here working on the cakes. So I need to have this guy tilting a little bit forward because I'm gonna add some details all around these stalls. So over here at the back, I have a very simple structure with 2 kind of columns and a tilted roof. You can see here I have a couple of studs because this is where an additional habitat could sit. So you can see this is a kind of open back design, even though we still have a little bit of structural design so that I can potentially add stuff on top. So I'm not gonna add any blue sky at the back, I'm just gonna leave it open. Now, if I want to connect this to another habitat to the side, I will have to add a little bit of extra bricks over here. So this is still match the same color. If you display this at the edge of the stack, you can just remove it, and that would be it. Or this could be working in any point of the habitat stack. So this is gonna be there, so we have a connection, and then we can still put habitats on top, even though here we are extending a little bit at the back side of the habitat. And then we have a much more interesting detail on the other side. So here we have a kind of a interesting pattern with this window that serves as some sort of shelving behind this vendor. We have a little bit of an interesting awning here in white and tan. Very simple with just 2 pieces, a cheese slope and one of these inverted arches. And then a little bit of greenery, a little bit of details in green and yellow. This is gonna connect over here on the side, like so. And again, here we have the space, the connection. We have a couple of studs if we want to put something on top. Now, to complete this, of course, the carrot is gonna be here at the front. We need to add a few more details. So to add a little bit of orange like the carrot, I have this pumpkin that is gonna sit on this barrel and connect here at the back. So it's gonna be a very subtle detail. And then I'm gonna have another place here to raise it up with a sort of table using this 3 costume piece. In this case, it's gonna work as a sort of table to raise it up a little bit. And here is where I'm gonna connect the farmer's market sign that is gonna be high here in the middle. I think this worked quite well because it give a nice view and work as a sort of sign for this farmer's market. I think it works quite well. Potentially you can add some other details, like you can have a shovel or a broom or something here on the side to add a little bit of detail. And then here in the front, we can have the carrot mascot that could be walking around, attracting customer here in the center of the farmer's market. So let me know what you think about this one. We can also bring back in the other habitat that we have worked on today. So let me know what you think about these two kind of open back sort of habitats. And let me know in the comments which one is your favorite. Now I have a bit of a schedule a bit messed up in the past month because I was traveling a couple of times and I've been a bit sick. But now I'm back, so I'm gonna be going back to the usual schedule with both my builds and with this week in bricks. Anyway, that's about it. Thank you very much for watching. I will put a link to some other habitats here on screen if you missed that episode and you want to go and check it out. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Ciao, ciao.